Hey everybody, this is Mia from Mia's Moments, and the moment I'm sharing with you is it's been 5 weeks. We have been here in Mexico trying to wrap our hands around, do we want to retire here? Can we live here? Are we comfortable with the transportation? What about the food cost? Just things like that if you actually lived here. And I wanted to share those with you. So let's just dive in. Transportation, I'll just start with that. We're on foot and we probably wouldn't be driving if we lived here. So no car, right? That's a big deal, isn't it? You don't realize how much your whole life and schedule changes when you have to rely on other transportation. Well, we don't have family here, so I don't have anybody to, that I can call up and say, hey, can I catch a ride? So we've been on foot, we'd be walking. We're walking everywhere we go, or we hop the bus. And if you've seen my other video, I'm very comfortable riding the bus in cities that I've lived in my past, but every city is different. And now we're in a country where we don't speak the language. We're not really sure what stop we're supposed to get off on. So that riding the bus is a different experience too. So let's start with that. It's been a little more stressful for me until I kind of got in the groove. At first I called it bus anxiety. It's like, okay, am I gonna get off on the right spot? And I don't even have anyone to ask. And of course, you don't want to look too silly, and then it's fine, like, give it up. Everybody knows you're not a local. Even though I confuse a lot of people here. They look at me and it's like, you look local, but you're not really. What's going on here? So I know that, so I don't try to be someone I'm not. I'll speak in English, I'll try a little bit in Spanish, but I'm not trying to be something I'm not. I think you got to be your authentic self. So what I've learned is I can do the bus. I'm okay with that. But the bigger thing is I've learned wherever we live here, I need to be close to where I'm going for food, the grocery store, and where we're going to eat. That's really it. Okay, so the grocery store, I don't want to have to take the bus and ride an hour to get to the grocery store. And then remember, you can only shop and buy what you can carry back. So a lot of pre-planning. Where we are staying now, there's a grocery store right across the street, so no big deal. My favorite grocery store is a bus ride. It's about 20 minutes away, but it's my favorite grocery store. Number two is the cost of food. Life here in Mexico is a lot less expensive, including the food. It's very inexpensive to eat out compared to Hawaii. The food costs, you can get a lot of fresh, really good stuff, really inexpensive. So I'm confident in that. I'm used to cooking my own, kind of being in charge of my own food. So I don't know if that's a healthy thing, a control thing, but that's been kind of weird where I'm eating out more, because we've been eating out about once a day, which, and I'll just tell you real quick, our spending has been, for food and groceries, has been about $40 a day, which I don't think is too crazy. We're not in sync with what it would be like if we lived here, but what is, right? So I'm okay with the transportation. I've learned I need to be close to things that are important to me, and then the food, I'm very confident that I can get how I like to eat, fresh, good stuff at a fairly inexpensive cost. I just have to get to it. The third is the language. I don't speak the language. So how would that impact us retiring here in Mexico? Do we need to speak the language? Personally, I think you need to speak the language of the country you're living in, because you just miss out on so much. You can't communicate really as effectively. You're always dependent upon somebody else to help you. I don't like that. I like being more independent than that. So I am learning the language, but I'm not anywhere near the greetings and the adioses and all of that. I'm just the baby beginner. So I wouldn't have to speak the language if I lived here. There's that many people who are bilingual, but I want to learn. So I've been able to communicate fine. There's really no stress about, am I going to be able to, because I can communicate, because they can communicate enough with me. Many of them are bilingual here, but I find the ones who aren't, they're as uncomfortable as I am, because you're kind of looking at each other like, what do I say? You know, she doesn't understand me, and I don't understand her, but that's okay because the minute you try, they're so relieved, and then it's like, okay, it's cool. She's trying. So that's it for now. As far as one last thing is, I love the weather here. It's really important to me to have vitamin D all year round. I think sunshine, vitamin D is so critical to your physical and your mental health. That's why I love Hawaii. So Mexico's got that going for it too. It's just wonderful every single day here. So those are my thoughts after 5 weeks. I've got some more thoughts to share for you about cost, a little bit more about what that experience is like going to the grocery store. I've already shared my thoughts on the bus and my bus anxiety, which is good. It's all good now. And other moments I'll have to share with you in the future. But for now, hasta luego, and we'll see you soon.